Hello my fellow music simps, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zero, and in today's review I'm going to be talking about the 5th studio EP by the Australian R&B and production trio Chase Atlantic called Don't Try This. A review of a Chase Atlantic project has been long overdue on this channel, for those of you who know how big of a Chase Atlantic fan I am. I was going to splurge a little more and review their second studio album Phases, but to be completely honest, I don't want to review it, mainly because I pretty much established how much I love that album on my Instagram account, so I thought it would be a lot more interesting to review a Chase Atlantic project that I haven't given much attention to. So without any further ado, let's get into the review. Don't Try This is the 5th studio EP by Chase Atlantic, succeeding their 2017 self-titled studio album, and was released 5 months before their second studio album, Phases. The EP was released in 2019 and is their first release under BMG Rights Management, the group's current record label. Thank God it's not fueled by ramen. Instead, this EP is rather fueled by massive amounts of experimentation, creativity, and most of all energy. While their self-titled record was more often than not a slower record that focused more on emotion and sound, or the end sound I should say, Don't Try This is the complete opposite, and instead focuses more on two things, energy and message. With this EP, Chase Atlantic focuses more of an energetic and modern sound, which makes sense given the concept of this EP and its title, Drugs. This time, relying on drugs to make the songs seem a little more edgy and dope, instead of singing about them in a negative way like they did a lot on their last record, and honestly, I'm pretty into it. I feel like this type of energetic and electrifying style is what Chase Atlantic was meant for. We're also given kind of a drastic sound change with this EP, which strays somewhat far away from the raw and indie poppy works of their past records into more of a modern hip-hop slash trap style, while still staying true to their old sound. And to be completely honest with you, this is the very thing I was worried about Chase Atlantic falling prey to, but they actually pull it off pretty damn well for the most part. We get some straight up trap bangers on this EP, but we also get some old Chase Atlantic sounds mixed in on some of the tracks, and they mesh so well without being too messy or try hard. One of the songs that stuck out most to me on this EP is Green Green Green, which is about pretty much the three most popular green things on the planet: weed, money, and well, that's up for the listener to decide. Chase Atlantic used the word green for a lot of different metaphors in this song, whether it's drugs, sex, music, partying. They leave it completely up to the listener, and that's one of the things I like most about this track. They allow the mind to open up a little bit, almost. And also, for the first time in pretty much all of Chase Atlantic's career, Mitchell is going for more of a rap vocal style on the song, and he actually does a pretty decent job. The atmospheric, cloudy trap beat in the background blends perfectly with Mitchell's style of rapping on this song, and it also adds well to the hyperactivity and energy of this song, even if it's not as energetic as some of the other tracks on here. The next song I feel like deserves a lot more attention is Devilish, which is by far one of the most energetic and edgiest songs they have ever put out. Honestly, it's so much different from any other Chase Atlantic song, mainly because of the topic it explores and its overall feel. The title Devilish suits this song perfectly, as it talks about Satanism and making a deal with the devil, and just releasing all of the rage inside of you, basically releasing the inner devil. And honestly, I feel like Chase Atlantic did just fine with releasing the rage inside of them and putting it onto this song. It's backed up by such a hard, punchy 808 beat with loud yelling vocals in the chorus and a lot of heavily distorted synths. It also doesn't get messy in the slightest with everything that's going on in the song, which is a pro, because a lot of artists these days are really messy with how much they try to do. I also really love how the song starts out relatively slow and quiet, but then the chorus just comes in with this big booming energy that completely lets your guard down. I feel like a lot of parents might not be okay with this song though, because of how anti-Christian and satanic it is, but that's honestly the reason I love this song. It goes against some of the beliefs that a lot of people have these days, and Chase Atlantic is by no means afraid to go against them. The last song I want to talk about is Lust, another heavily underrated song that is pretty much the only song on here that stays true to the band's old sound. In fact, I could hear this song being on one of their older EPs. It's a pretty solid alternative R&B track that utilizes a lot of the old elements that were so present on Chase Atlantic's past work. In my own opinion, this song feels like the prologue to their song Her off of Phases, which is my favorite song off Phases, by the way. For the reason being that it talks a lot about using drugs to have a good time with a girl who is already in a relationship and only getting to spend a certain period of time with them. I love the relatable story this song tells, and I also love how dark and cloudy the song as a whole is. It blends perfectly with the dark theme of the song. I'm also pretty much living for Mitchell's high vocals in the chorus, since they pretty much carry this song throughout its runtime. Now, do I have any gripes with this EP? Honestly, I really only have one, and it's the fact that I feel like two of these songs would have been suited a lot better for their debut album. What You Call That and U2 to be exact. They had this slow and mellow R&B slash indie sound that was very present on their debut studio album, and that's why I feel like it would just be a lot better for that project. And while I get they were shooting for subtle experimentation, these two songs ultimately just feel pretty out of place on the EP. That's not to say that they're bad songs. In fact, I actually kind of vibe with U2 because of its cloudy, mellow lo-fi feel, but they just feel a bit too out of place to be considered unique experimentation. But honestly, those are the only gripes I have with this EP, and I think this EP was a very awesome listen throughout, for the most part. To sum up this review, I would say this is Chase Atlantic's best work to date up until Phases. It's not quite the journey through space that Phases is, but this EP ultimately leads very well into Phases. I'm giving Chase Atlantic's 5th studio EP, Don't Try This, a 3.5 out of 5, maybe a light 4, and I'm really hoping for more subtle experimentation on their next record. Thank you guys so much for watching my review of Chase Atlantic's Don't Try This. Let me know what you guys thought of the EP down below. Comment some other stuff you want me to review down below. Drop a like if you enjoyed it. And until the next video, my name is Zero, and I will see you guys in the next review. Peace.